Alright, welcome back to another episode of I Love You! Island! Welcome back to Island!
噂をすればか。
That does not sound good. Nope! Following Karen's gaze, I spot a familiar bald head bobbing down the dirt road.
サラ、親父だ。
Uh-oh. Karen quickly tries to conceal Sara behind her back, but her afro gives it away. It's futile, though. That bright red comma of Sarah's isn't easily hidden.
カレン、お前がサラと一緒にいるのは珍しいな。
うるせえな。ちょっと立ち話してただけだよ。
そうか。仲が良さそうで何よりだ。
The mayor squats down so that he's at Sarah's eye level.
サラ、そろそろ考え直してくれたかな。
What? His tone is so creaky. It really makes my hair stand on end.
何のことでしょうか。
何度も言っているだろう。そろそろ家に戻ってこないかと。
何度もお断りしているはずです。それに、私の家はあの神社です。
あんな電気も通っていないような場所では何かとつらかろう。
去年、近所の方に発電機を設置していただきました。
そうか。それは知らなかった。困ったことがあればすぐに言ってきなさい。できる限りのことはしよう。
お心遣いありがとうございます。
The mayor's sugary voice is creepy enough, but Sarah's blunt refusal of his offer bothers me even more. Hers a staccato mechanical tone that remains only when all emotion has been exhausted. It's reminiscence of how she addressed me when we first met.
おっと、君もいたのか。確か。
What a dick. I'm sure he noticed me the moment he saw the girls. Setsuna. Sanzenkai Setsuna.
そうだった、せつな君。仕事はあれから順調か？
Why are you friendly? Fine, thanks.
ならいいんだ。島に不老者が増えると治安上問題だからな。
Everything this guy says manages to piss me off. He must really hate me. I just woke up. That's why I'm a little bit screwing up with reading, sorta. I agree.
気分を害してしまったならすまない。君のような人種を気にかけるのも町長としての仕事だからな。
It's your duty to look after the islanders, certainly. It should be pretty obvious what I mean by that. What I meant by that. He needs to know that I'm not about to buckle under the pressure he's putting on me. I'm not leaving anytime soon. If I allow myself to get worked up, I'll be playing right into his hands. He probably reckons that if I snap, he's got an excuse to kick me off the island. Sorry for causing you worry. I'm doing fine now. Things are perfectly uneventful. Peaceful.
しかし見たところ、昼間から子供と遊び歩いているようだが。
How do I respond to that? I take a moment to deliberate when...
子供ってのは、私のことか。
Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Karen's just as quick to start an argument as I am. At least when the mayor's involved. Man, she's hopeless. I actually had the afternoon off work today, so I was enjoying a leisurely date with a young lady.
何言ってんだあんたは。
That is what we were doing, isn't it? Or are you still too young to be dating? Karen dramatically clutches her head, apparently unsure quite what expression to pull before pointing at the mayor.
そうだよ。デートだよ。なんか文句あった？
Now it's the mayor's turn to look shocked and appalled. When a child steps up and down and insists that they're no longer a little kid, it's all the more proof that they've not yet grown up. If you really want to convince people that you're an adult, you have to do so through your actions. As you can see, I'm leading a very fulfilling life, both personally and professionally. And it's all thanks to the wonderful environment you've created for us here on the island, Mr. Mayor. The mayor's face grows redder and redder with anger. That bald head of his looks kind of like a boiled egg. Ouch.
伝説にたがわぬ七条馬だな貴様は。
What? With that incomprehensible parting shot, the mayor huffs and turns on his heels. A few meters down the road, he turns around to face us again.
カレン、門限破りは承知しないからな。
That was a perfect example of I'm not to be an adult! But that was funny. Karen blows a magnificent raspberry in response. With nothing more to say, the mayor shrugs his shoulders and plods off. Yeah, get out of here. We had to have some fun. Good job, Karen. Looks like you taught him a lesson.
何言わせんだよ。あんたとデートしてることになっちまったじゃねえか。
Relax, it's just a date. He probably still thinks of you as a child precisely because you're so finicky about things like this.
けどよ。
Darren, staring down at her feet, chokes on her words.
せつなさんは田舎の恐ろしさが分かってないんです。
What do you mean?
明日には島中に噂が広まっていることでしょう。1週間もすれば婚約したも同然の扱いを受けることになります。
I mean, that's not really that much different from the internet and their ship and shit. What?
家に立派なタイやエビがたくさん届くんです。そうなればもう後には引けません。
Karen, let's break up.
付き合ってもねえよ。まあ今回の件に限って言えばそんなことにはならないでしょうけど。
Yeah, I don't think the mayor's going to run around spreading rumors about me and his daughter.
そうだよな。そうに決まってる。そういうことにしとこうぜ。
If any of the other islanders do get the wrong idea, we'll practically be married. Things really are bad out in the sticks. By the way, what was that he just said about the legend? Have the islanders already created a legend about me? I'm honored, but that's kind of embarrassing.
例の御三家にまつわる伝承ですよ。
The myth of the three families? About how they brought peace to the island? What does that have to do with me?
伝承には3人の女性と1人の男性が登場します。その名は小原リンネ、クルツカレン、ガランドーサラ。
And? Huh? Aren't those the names of the three girls I met on the island? In that case, could the name of the man possibly be?
そして3000回刹那。
I know it doesn't refer to me, but my body stiffens the moment that name reaches my ears.
御三家では伝承になぞらえて生まれた娘に彼女たちの名前をつけることが多々あったようです。同じ時代に3人が揃うことは珍しいですけどね。らしいな。
Sara and Karen exchanged glances. It's a weird feeling, standing here with the two girls who both shared their names with figures of legend. Though I guess it's the same for me too.
今となっては伝承も断片的にしか残っていませんが、知っている人は知っていると思います。特に老人や御三家に近い家柄の人間であれば。
Sara turns to look me straight in the eye.
せつなさんの名字はリンネさんがつけられたんでしたよね。
Yeah.
きっとリンネさんも自らの名前の由来を知っていて、 同じようにせつなさんに伝承になぞらえた名前をつけたのでしょう。
That makes complete sense. It would also explain why the old woman at the tea house called me Setsuna. Since Rinne has the same name as a character of legend, the old woman, in her senility, must have confused me for another mythical character. It didn't mean a thing. She was just referring to the Setsuna of legend. So what kind of a guy was this Setsuna, according to the stories? I'm sure there must be a kernel of historical truth buried in the myth. If this Setsuna ever really existed, he must have done something pretty incredible for people in the present still to remember his name. I can't help but wonder, what did my historical namesake do? Sara remains silent. When I shoot Karen a querying look, she averts her eyes. Is it something that's better left unsaid?
いえ、調べればすぐにわかることです。お話ししましょう。この島に伝わる秘伝物語を。
Which is set on this very island. All of its characters bearing very familiar names, though the action itself takes place in the distant past.
時はまだ世界に神や魔物が跋扈していた時代、この地が本土の一部だった頃。物語の主人公はセツナという一人の青年です。セツナは人知れず小原凛音という少女を愛していました。真剣に聞いてください。
But I can't help but think of her when you mentioned that name.
これはあくまで物語です。フィクションです。実在の人物とは無関係です。
I know. Go on. Sara takes a deep breath and returns to the story.
そしてリンネもまた人知れずセツナを愛していました。セツナさん。
Okay, no need to give me that look. I'm trying to listen properly. Karen's ready to turn her back to us, even though her name hasn't come up yet. I suppose it'll appear soon enough.
しかし、二人の関係を知ってしまった者がいました。それが、クルツカレンです。
The fuck, Karen! Oh, there she is!
もうやめていいですか
No. No, I can't stand cliffhangers. Tell about the whole story.
それでは
Sara resumes her tale.
カレンは二人の関係を快く思いませんでした。
God damn it,
なぜ
Karen!
ならカレンもセツナのことを愛していたからです。
Oh, Karen. That's warm, heartful. That's heartwarming. Oh, Karen's shoulders are shaking. Sorry, I didn't catch that part. Could you repeat it?
カレンもセツナのことを愛していたからです。
One more time.
カレンもセツナのことを愛して
わざとやってるだろ
Whoops, she looks angry.
先に進めてもいいですか
Hold on, can you spell out exactly what Karen loved Setsuna?
もういい私が手っ取り早く話してやるよ。カレンは魔女に頼むんだ。なんとかして二人を引き裂いてくれって。で、魔女は二人に呪いをかけた。
Wait a minute, I think you skipped over something. I don't really follow. Why would Karen suddenly want to tear them apart? Just how in love with Setsuna is she?
愛してねえよ
We're not talking about you. Well, leaving Karen aside, Setsuna and Rinne don't really do anything wrong, did they? I mean, didn't really do anything wrong.
してたんだよ。
Why is she glaring at me like that?
セツナとリンネの二人は血のつながった家族だったんだよ。
Oh. What?
今も昔も近親相関は禁忌とされています。もっとも昔は 小さな集落では黙認されることもよくあったそうなのですが、だからといって公に認めてしまえば、その集落はいずれ滅んでしまいます。カレンは集落を守るために苦渋の決断をしたのでしょう。
What kind of curse was it?
魔女はリンネの顔を二度と誰にも愛されないような化け物に変えました。それを苦にしたリンネは自らの命を絶ってしまいます。
That's awful. I wonder if the curse loosed and Rinne in the story is actually a stand-in for Soot Blight syndrome. If that's the case, then the story is probably intended to explain the origins of the disease.
一人残されたセツナはサラの助言を受け、魔女の住む島を目指し旅立ちます。
私はサラはこの島を守るために呪いを受けたリンネとセツナを島から追い出したって聞いてるぞ。
The fuck, Sara!
そのあたりは諸説あるようですね。何せ古い伝承ですから。
The story gets embellished depending on who's telling it. That's how it goes with most folktales.
魔女の住む島にたどり着いたセツナは魔女と契約を交わします。魔女はリンネがこの世に再び生を受けることを約束しました。そして二人が結ばれた時にこそ呪いは解けると。しかしそれが何十年後になるか何百年後になるかは魔女にさえも約束できませんでした。セツナは自らの時間を止めるために氷の中で眠りにつき、その日が来るのを待ち続けることにしました。氷の中からこの世を見つめ続けたセツナは長い時を経るうちに三千大千世界の森人と呼ばれるようになりました。以上が三千回セツナの伝説です。
To be honest, I don't really get it. Something about it doesn't feel right. I guess because it's so open-ended. Did they live happily ever after?
少なくともこの島に伝わる伝承の中では語られていません。
Or maybe it's still ongoing.
もしかしたら口伝されていく過程で失われてしまったのかもしれません。でも私はこう考えます。これはリンネの運命を背負った少女と彼女と再び巡り合うために刹那の時を生き続けることを選択した青年のお話なんです。きっと今でも二人は巡り合う時を待っているのでしょう。
Even now, and possibly from here on out as well? Forever? Whoa! That hits me right in the feels.
茶化さないでください。
So, how does all that relate to the three families?
御三家の活躍が語られるのはどちらかというと後日談的な部分ですね。リンネという呪われた存在、バイモン病患者を出してしまったその集落は他の集落から迫害されてしまうことになります。あとはすでにお話しした通りです。特別な力を持つ御三家は協力し合い、集落を守るために戦い始めます。それは同時に氷の中で眠り続ける刹那を守るためでもあり、いずれ生まれてくるであろうリンネを守るためでもあります。言ってしまえば御三家は二人のために存在し続けているんです。
A pair of lovers torn apart because of the one sin they committed. The people forgave them though, and their distant descendants still wish for the pair's happiness. Through the ages, that wish has taken many different forms, but the two lovers' names continue to be passed down. That part remains unchanged. When you think about it like that, it really is a pretty little fable.
くだらねえな。どうせ御三家の権威づけのための作り話だよ。
Hey, don't ruin the romance of it. Karen is right, in a certain sense. Reality is much harsher than these folk tales would have you believe. Suit blight syndrome isn't some witch's curse. It's a real disease from which people still suffer. The girl's ancestors created the three families in this legend as a means of fighting this suit blight syndrome. But now, the legend has largely been forgotten, and the framework they built to contain the disease is crumbling to pieces.
私は作り話でも構わないと思います。どんな時代でも人々には救いが必要です。私はガランド王家の名にかけてこの島を守り続けます。
守る価値なんてねえって、こんな終わってる島。
終わろうとしている今だからこそ必要なんです。
Those two are pretty much polar opposites. Oddly enough, though, their views don't actually seem to be in conflict. That's probably because they both feel the same way deep down. They both lament this island's decline, just like their namesakes in the legend. Alright, I get it! I'll do something about it too! In the name of Sanzenkai Setsuna!
はあ？あんたは氷の中で永久に眠ってろよ。
Fuck you! I ain't doing that! You traitor!
そもそも、せつなさんが人の道を踏み外さなければ、呪いを受けることもなかったんですけどね。
Ugh. But if Karen hadn't fallen for me, Rinne and I would have been able to live happily ever after.
惚れてねえよ!
Reality can be cruel. Things never work out quite as well as they do in fairy tales. That's what happened today in a nutshell. I take a deep breath, having relayed my account of the day's events in something of a frenzy. For some reason, these long monologues got really exhausting. I wish she'd do at least indicate that she was listening though. Wait, up. Jesus Christ, my phone scared the shit out of me. And I just took a picture by accident. Great. Alright, get the hell out of here. I have reading to do. What's up, Kuan? I want some sheep dice too. That's your takeaway from this? A Titanic helping. I love her. I wouldn't recommend that. It really gave me a bad stomach. Bringing Kuan her dinner, I decided to tell her about my date. Hey Kuan, there's something I do like to ask the woman who named their daughter Rinne. I need to talk to you about something important. Will you open the door? No response. It looks like I'll have to play with my trump card. Don't worry, it's no longer light outside. The sun has already sunk beneath the waves into hallways shrouded in darkness. The wooden door creaks open very slowly, and out comes Kuan, every inch of skin covered up.
それで私が安心すると?
You really need to ask? Anybody to be able to guess after hearing that story. At first, I thought that you do shut yourself away like this because of how much the island's past weight on you. And there must be some truth in that as well. But the real reason is much simpler. You have suit blight syndrome, don't you? Oh no. Kuan stares at her feet and pulls the hood further over her face. Is it progressive? Maybe I'm being too nosy. And you assume that the disease is in its final stages, judging from her lifestyle. There's no point talking around it. I heard that there haven't been any serious cases in recent years.
誰が言っていたんですか?
Granda Sara.
あの子はまだ子供ですから。
Yeah, that's what I figured. There's no way a disease without obvious cause or cure would simply vanish like that.
昔と比べれば減ってきてはいますが、今もこの病に苦しめられている人は確かにいます。 そういう人たちはめったに外を出歩かないので目立たないだけです。
I'm fairly certain that's not all there is to it. Something more troubling must be going on behind the scenes to convince people that this disease belongs to the past.
バイモン病はこの島の人間が過去に犯した罪に対する罰なんです。
The couple loved each other despite the fact that their love was taboo. Can it really be considered a sin?
罪は今もまだ許されてはいません。
And can this really be considered their punishment? If so, then it's unnecessarily cruel. Or did they do something else? Something worse to warrant this?
きっと永遠に許されることはないでしょう。
Yesterday, I promised Kuan that I do save this island, along with everyone I've met here. But now I'm made painfully aware of my own ignorance. Will I really be able to save even one of them all by myself? How about Rinne? Rinne bears the name of the very figure who, according to legend, received that cruel sentence. Does it follow that she also shoulders her namesake's punishment? She sleeps during the day and takes her walks in the middle of the night. She never takes off her hat. That's a good deal of circumstantial evidence. And if she refused to come with us to the tea house because she didn't want to go out in the sun, that don't make complete sense. I mean, she initially agreed, but a certain restaurant that I forgot the name of made her say no, and she refused to go and walked away in the night. Having said that, I haven't seen any dark patches in her skin. At least, not yet.
あの子は違います。
I hear a deep sigh of relief when Kuan denies my suspicions outright. But it's short-lived. The next moment, I'm struck by another strain of unease. Why is she that way then?
あの子が病んでいるのは事実です。
Huh?
あの子が患っているのは恐怖という名の病です。バイモン病を恐れるあまり外に出ることができなくなったんです。
Maybe that's inevitable. I had a hard time looking at that old woman's face myself. And it must be even worse for Rinne, given that the disease apparently runs in the family. Maybe Kuan chooses to wear her out inside the house, so as not to frighten Rinne any further.
私はあの子が不憫でなりません。いくら広い屋敷とはいえ、この島と比べればはるかに小さな箱庭です。ましてや島の外の世界とは比べるべくもありません。
A single teardrop trickles out from underneath her head and is absorbed into the carpet.
いずれ私はいなくなる運命です。そうしたらあの子は
Will she carry on living in this mansion all by herself? Forever fearful and alone? Maybe the spirit is another punishment that's been bestowed on the islanders. But to be punished for something you're not remotely guilty of, that's more like a curse. Yeah, Rinne is cursed.
せつなさんはあの子を救ってくださいますか？
I need to make a choice. I'm far from perfect. There's no way I can save everyone and everything. But there has to be something that even I can do.